Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Mr. Cobalt and in this video I'm going to be going over kinetic energy. So what is kinetic energy, ladies and gentlemen? So I'm glad you asked. So as I talked about in my other video about what energy is, it's the definition of energy applies here as well. Remember that energy is the capacity to do work. Different kinds of energy show that capacity in different ways, right? So in this case, kinetic energy is the capacity to do work that results from the motion of an object. So let me give an example. So I have a bulldozer. The bulldozer is going to knock down a particular wall. Well, how is the bulldozer going to do that? Well, if the bulldozer is just sitting there, not doing anything, it's not going to knock down or move the wall, right? So, how is the bulldozer going to move the wall? Well, you get the bulldozer in motion so that it collides with the wall and knocks it down or moves it out of the way, right? So, in this case, the bulldozer at rest does not have the capacity to move the wall. Why? Because it's not in motion to collide with the wall, right? So in this case, the bulldozer has to be in motion in order to do the work of moving the wall and knocking it down. So in this case, the bulldozer has to have a certain amount of kinetic energy. So energy that is in motion, right? So in this case, the kinetic energy or the motion of the bulldozer is what gives the bulldozer the capacity to knock down or move the wall, or in that case, do work. Okay, so that is what we mean by kinetic energy. So, for those of you who are mathematically inclined and would like an equation, this is the equation of kinetic energy. So, kinetic energy is 1/2 the mass of the object times the velocity squared. So if you know the mass of the object, if you know the velocity of the object, you could plug that into this equation and you could get energy squared. You can get the kinetic energy of that object. Mass is usually going to be in kilograms in this case, and the velocity is going to be meters per second. And so that will give you the kinetic energy of the object. So the thing that I want to point out for this particular video, I'm not going to get too mathy, but what I want to point out is the relationship of mass and volume. I'm sorry, volume, velocity. If I said volume, sorry, um, velocity and mass are related to kinetic energy. And so basically what I'm trying to say here is that any object that is in motion can collide with another object and move it. So any object in motion has the capacity to do work. And remember, the capacity to do work is energy. So the motion, the energy that is due to the motion of an object is called kinetic energy. So my examples here in relation to mass and volume are here. I'm going to use two examples. So let's compare a bulldozer and a scooter. This is one of those foot motion scooters you use to move with your feet, not a motorized scooter. Although a motorized scooter could work in this example as well. So I have a bulldozer that hits a wall at 20 miles an hour, and I have a scooter hits a wall at 20 miles an hour. Here they're moving at the same velocity, so the velocity is the same, but the mass is very different. The bulldozer has much more mass than the scooter, so that when you calculate the bulldozer is going to have more kinetic energy than the scooter, meaning that the bulldozer is going to have a greater capacity to do work on the wall than the scooter is because it is massive, right? Because it has more mass. So remember, kinetic energy is the ability to do work due to the motion involved, right? So the bulldozer, being a bigger object, a heavier, more massive object, has more capacity to do work because of that extra mass, even though the scooter and the bulldozer are going at the same speed. Now, what about speed? What about the velocity? So if we have two objects that have the same mass but different velocities, then that's also going to influence the amount of kinetic energy. So here we have two bulldozers, same mass. One bulldozer hits the wall at 20 miles per hour. Another bulldozer hits the wall at 60 miles an hour. So the bulldozer in this case, that has a larger velocity, when you plug that in, it's going to end up having a greater kinetic energy. So therefore, the faster you are moving, the faster the object is moving, the more kinetic energy it has, and therefore the more capacity it has to do work on the object when it collides with that object. In this case, the object that's being collided with is the wall. So this bulldozer here has a greater capacity to move the wall than this bulldozer here. And so that is kinetic energy. I hope this video is helpful. If this cleared up any issues about kinetic energy, please, by all means, like this video, share this video, hit that like button over there. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. When you do, hit that notification bell and also click all so you can be notified by all the videos I put out. And then finally, put a comment down below in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Ask me questions. Tell me what you would like me to do in a video. If you have a particular topic you would like me to cover, then please write it down, and I would love to do that for you. Thanks for joining me, and have a great day.